Today is Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, Episode 5.
This episode was titled Idol Search Party, spoken by Cece right near the beginning of the episode.
Too bad she didn't find that idol, huh? Mm-hmm. For her, at least.
Yeah. I like the fire spinners right at the beginning. I don't think I had noticed them before.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Okay, fair enough. Previously on Survivor, Failer can't hide their love for each other. Bret and Chris were plotting revenge, and Ken and David try to save Jessica. And Lucy says, bye-bye. So that's pretty straightforward. I was hoping there was going to be some clue to David's logic, or they were going to frame David's play, but I'm coming to conclude that there was not much logic there. There wasn't anything they leveraged for the story. And even David says something that makes me think it was kind of a haphazard play on his part. Okay, so they're back from Tribal there on night 12. And David says, okay, let me have it. Tell me how much you hate me or how mad you are at what I just did. Cece says she's not mad. Chris says he's not mad either.
Yeah, right. But wow, the dramatics.
Yeah, he's curious about the dramatics. Interesting choice of words there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody bought that you weren't unhappy.
Yeah, David feels like he just played the idol that for someone that no one wants around. And
nobody
now
wants to work with her.
What does that say about you and your choice,
idol.
David? Yeah. And he's feeling incredibly vulnerable right now. And I've made a note in my notes, and it says, where's the explanation for what you just did? Where is it? Come on.
That was it.
Yeah. That he saves someone that nobody wants to work with. Mm-hmm. So he basically wasted it.
But he wanted her, I guess, on his side. I still believe he thinks him, Ken, and Cece with Jessica equals the numbers.
But what side does Jessica go to?
No, she was with David too, but
she goes to Ken.
You cracked up over that.
I need a hug from the model. Yes. Yeah. There you go. So David plays one of the most valuable things in the game on her behalf, but she spends time with the model. Yes. And bonus,
yes,
cherry on top.
She didn't trust him.
Tells him that she would have shared the legacy advantage with him.
Well, she did share it.
But not David.
And she would have given it to him.
Right.
Even though, well, I guess if she'd left, David wouldn't have used the idol. So that would explain that. But funny that
to Ken's credit, it's not funny. It's just as predicted. And David will tell you that's happened to him his whole life. He's never been able to buy that kind of attention or affection.
Okay. And Ken tells us, okay, then he trusts her completely again.
Yes, it worked. She has bought back his trust with the hint of something that he doesn't even know if it's real. He tried
to help me, and I didn't believe it.
He doesn't even know if it's real, and he just bought it. Well, to his credit, he didn't tell her that he voted for her, so we were both curious if that was going to come out.
We were sitting there laughing, going, she does not know that he voted for her. Or maybe he did tell her, and they just didn't show us because it wouldn't have been as fun.
It made the story better this way. Yeah, possibly, sure.
But she could understand that since she didn't believe him and he was mad at her.
So it's her turn to buy goodwill, and apparently it works because Ken, like you said, he's all in, and he's happy now that she wants to share her legacy advantage with him, which would require her to either give it to him or to get voted out, to get blindsided. So I hope, for her sake, she's not foolish, I'll say foolish, enough just to give it to him, that she's going to hold on to it.
Oh, she's not giving it to him unless she leaves.
She has the option to give it away. That was the point. Okay, so it's day 13. still at Gen X Beach, there with the tribe. And Chris tells us there ain't no shame. There ain't no shame. Everyone's going to look for the hidden immunity idol that gets replanted today. And off they go.
Yeah, and Sunday was only feet away from it.
Yep.
That was... But they didn't know what they were looking for.
David had a huge advantage.
Yep.
So he spots the log that's got the symbol on it because, honestly, it's not hard to see, but I guess somewhat to their credit, like you said, Sunday didn't see it.
Well, here's the thing. I have to commend David for keeping his cool and not giving it away once he saw it and waited to get rid of everyone.
Yep.
He did wait that out, and you know how he gets all upset and everything. So he did have that under control. So good job, David.
There's a kind of bias when you're looking for something that can make you be blind to something that's really obvious. Have you ever seen the test they do and they tell you count how many times the basketball changes hands in the next minute? So they're passing that basketball back and forth, and you're counting. You're like, okay, well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you get to the end, and you're like, okay, it passed hands. I don't know what the right answer is, like 22 times. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen this? Mm-mm. We used to use it in our...
But I could imagine they would say, okay, so ask them a totally different question. How many people were blah, blah?
That's exactly how it goes. And we used it when we were teaching bicycle safety. I used to teach some of the commuter classes, and we would use this video. And it shows what happens when you're focused on one thing that you can't see another. So halfway through this video, there's like a gorilla moonwalks through. A guy in a gorilla suit moonwalks through the scene, and you'll realize I didn't even see it. And you go back and you show, and you're like, sure enough, that's what you say. Okay, did you see the gorilla at 30 seconds into the video kind of thing? And you jump back, and everybody's like, whoa. So that's what it's like for someone to be on their phone in their car while you're trying to make a turn on your bicycle. And that's why they can't see you. And sometimes they say they never saw someone on a bike. That's how that kind of bias works. And that's what was going on when they were hunting for that idol. Sunday had an idea in her mind for where to look and what to be looking for. And that's why, even though that symbol is there, that you wouldn't necessarily see it.
A color.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So you would think it would stand out more than it actually does, but just kind of blends in.
And it does to us because we know what to look for, and we're just sitting here on the couch. But that kind of that bias kicks in, and then you literally become blind to certain things. That's how that can work.
Okay, David finds the idol. Good for you, David.
I guess so. I have mixed feelings. This is the guy who just essentially wasted one, as far as I can tell. So why do I really want him to get another one? Is he going to, is this the guy that's going to do something useful with it?
If after the merge, Jessica is loyal to David in some way because he played that idol for her, was it still wasted?
If he gets something in return, like he was trying to buy that, the way she bought Ken back with the legacy advantage.
We don't know that yet. You're assuming he got nothing, but we don't know that yet.
I'm basing that off what he just said and what we know. It appears that he essentially wasted it.
We don't know that yet.
Well, who does she say she would give it to? Did she say she would give it to David?
The legacy, she would give it to Ken.
Yeah, so David wasted it.
Doesn't mean she wouldn't rescue.
There's your answer.
Doesn't mean she wouldn't rescue David at some point if given the
Come on in, guys. It's time for what looks like a reward challenge, but it's not a reward challenge.
See that coming.
You didn't see what coming?
3 tribes.
Ah, okay.
I didn't.
They show a challenge field.
But I just
Do you think that was from a previous challenge or from one that's to come?
That's right. They did show.
Yeah.
Looked like just 2.
Yeah.
That was a deliberate...
Mislead. How about that?
Yep.
Okay, so Probst gives them a tricky little speech and then tells them drop their buffs, and you could tell some of the Gen Xers are not happy.
Now we know why the little caption said one tribe was not happy.
Yes.
They're like, well, why just one tribe?
Yeah, do they have to go to a new beach? Do they have to start over? So, see, I got part of that right in the guess.
Yeah, you didn't see it coming.
But I did get that part right, is why one tribe could be unhappy. It just didn't happen exactly the way I said.
That's right.
So Cece, she's not having any of it. She's shaking her head. No. She's not interested in it. The Millennials look happy. They're excited. Change is good. Let's embrace change.
Yeah, I don't know if they were as happy as they pretended, but could have been nervous laughter Figgy was doing there.
Yeah, possibly.
But the day was saved. Figgy was with Taylor, so no problem.
Right.
They had the numbers.
Want to break it down? Who's in the Vanua tribe, the Orange tribe now?
The Orange tribe is Cece, Chris, David, Zeke, and Michelle.
Interesting.
Well,
So you
now
got
it's
Zeke
only
and
Chris, David, Zeke, and Michelle.
You got Zeke and Michelle that are
And the Purple
on
Tribe.
the odd out there as the Millennials, the only tribe that has that case.
You
Okay,
got-
Takali.
You've got Figgy, Taylor, Adam, Jessica, and Ken. I shortened their name in place.
Okay.
So, in the new green tribe, the poor tribe that has to go redo everything.
But has one extra tribe member.
Machaela, that's true.
Ikabula.
Machaela, Jay, Will, Hannah, Bret, and Sunday.
Yep, so Bret and Sunday are the odd ones out there. Machaela tells Probst, you didn't do this right. She's not happy at all. Very upset. Did you see she actually threw her new buff down on the ground when she saw what color it was.
I did not want this color.
Yeah.
I do not want to have to rebuild everything.
And instead
No food.
of a challenge, Probst sends them off. Hey, go get to know each other.
All right, in the new tribe, Ikabula.
Yep.
Is that how you said it?
Yeah,
Ikabula. Okay, I'm not going to remember that.
sure you will.
I don't think so.
Just say it 3 times.
Ikabula, Ikabula, Ikabula.
And you did it wrong.
I know.
And you snorted. Ikabula, Ikabula,
Just
Ikabula.
did that to get you.
Oh, you did. Yeah, that's your story.
No, I did.
I don't believe a word of it.
Okay.
I think you
It's
goofed it
true.
right out of the gate.
I don't need to lie.
You don't need to, but you choose to.
I didn't. I did it
Introductions.
deliberately.
Yep.
So, okay, let's move on.
Bret tells us he's going to have to prove that they're worth keeping since they're the odd ones out in the minority there.
I thought that he needed to prove they needed to keep him.
Yeah?
Okay, I thought you just said the opposite.
No.
Okay, all right.
Jay tells us they're not dreamers, they're relentless. I want you to remember this because there's going to be a demonstration of how focused and relentless Jay really is coming up. And he tells us that Bret and Sunday are struggling just to figure things out and follow instructions as they start
Yeah.
to build their new camp.
Actually, Bret didn't seem to know what to do. But we know he helped build the other one.
Sure. Well, what are you going to do when you're older, you're male, and you're in the minority in your new tribe? You're not going to push up and try to direct things.
No, but
you're going to show that you can be part of the group. Sure.
And he wasn't doing that according to Jay.
Well, yeah, Jay had an agenda
don't
for
know
the
how to
story
do
he was
anything.
telling. Yeah. Well, I think that's what he's confusing Bret, hanging back, right? And saying, I'm not going to put myself out there in the leader. I'm not going to pull a Paul, right? I'm not going to be like Paul and be the blustery leader out there saying all this stuff.
The only thing that bothered me
I'll
was...
compliment Jay. I'll say, hey, he's got all this figured out, knows how to do these things. What bothered you?
was Jay saying that he didn't care if they lost. It's like, no. That's never a good attitude regardless.
So from my JSFL picks, I was really happy
you
with
had
how
Jay to
Jay.
go.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe somehow they'll start to tear this group apart.
Silly man.
Yeah, well, anyway, it looked promising and probable still to me at this point. So I liked how Jay was behaving.
I didn't know who to vote for, so I just chose Figgy. I figured that could be a safe bet. If she and everybody I thought knew that they were kind of together anyway, maybe both tribes, and that
Based on what
she'd
Paul
be a-
told us
a
in the
good-
interview, yeah.
Yeah, she'd be a good bet to break that couple up wherever they were, whether they were together
That's
or not.
pretty sound
so.
logic. It's better than mine.
It's all I had, really, because...
You didn't want to go for CC again, right?
Well, it was between her or Cece, just
Yeah.
because Cece was an easy
One to go to.
You know,
sure.
yeah, because she doesn't do well in challenges.
I know. I was like, no, I'm not going to get burned. For some reason, CC's staying in. I'm not going to go there this time. So I went with Jay.
Well, if
anyway,
you told me that, I would have voted Cece.
I was I was pretty happy at this point because Jay was all mouthy
Next
about
time,
how great they were.
share.
We did talk about it. Okay, let's jump over to Takali. Ken tells us these millennials are a kooky bunch of kids and he likes them. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing.
Okay. Figgy's like, oh, don't touch, no hugs, no kissing.
She shuts down the
No.
Taylor. Yep.
We can't let in. Taylor's like, wait a minute. We have the numbers. I don't see the problem. He's really having a problem with that.
Annie tells her that her decision is dumb.
Well, that's not going to win him any points.
Well, he changes tactics shortly, and he started wearing her down, basically.
And Adam's stuck with Taylor and Figgy.
Actually,
Well, not
the
really,
great
yeah.
the great takeaway I like that. Adam, the other person who has a hidden immunity idol, is stuck in the middle between two pairs. So there's Ken and Jessica and Taylor and Figgy in that regard. So I guess with Figgy doing that, I was thinking, see, that was what I was hoping for, a little bit of intelligence on her part, but I can see it's not going to last.
I was cheering for them to lose.
Yes, you were.
Adam to go with Ken, and that they'd vote off.
Ken's cooking for him. He's doing the stir fry, and
that's smart.
Taylor, he's starting to work on Figgy, telling her how hot she is. That's about all it took to start wearing her down. She starts flirting back.
Okay. Well, young love, what can you say?
What did you think about that discussion between Ken and Adam?
I liked it. I liked that Ken's working it right off.
And Adam revealed that he had voted for Figgy, so that put him at the bottom.
We didn't see Sunday talking with anyone, did we? They're not showing us much of her.
Nope. Sunday, Hannah was invisible.
And, Will,
he was invisible.
They just all kind of disappeared into the background.
Yeah, these last couple episodes.
Of course, so was Lucy right up till, bam, she went home.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So Adam takes some solace in the fact that he may actually be the swing vote in Takali in the Purple Tribe. So he's in a better place.
But I thought, but if they see you're swinging too hard, they might just vote you off instead. Speaking
of being in a better place, we jump over to Vanua on day 14. Yep, Zeke tells us he doesn't dream. And I'm with you. Yeah, I don't either.
Remember. I thought you went through the whole lucid dreaming and you bought.
I try. Yeah, but that never works. As soon as I realize that I'm dreaming, I wake up.
Well, but what happened? The whole time you were doing that, I was lucid dreaming every night.
That actually was before I got that.
You even mentioned you're going to do it. And
that little mask with this flashing light when it detected rapid eye movement. But we just had a discussion once. This is years and years ago, back when we were first together, and I mentioned that to you. And yeah, I told you, I'm trying to do this thing with lucid dreaming, blah, described it, and you just did it immediately that night.
Oh.
I've never had any success with it.
Well, I've done that before, so it wasn't, but it definitely was strong when you were talking about it.
Yeah, it worked for you.
I was like,
I explained the technique.
And this happened and that happened and blah, blah, blah.
And you just did it. I'm like, I've never been able to do this. Every time I realize, hey, I'm in a dream,
doing it
I
for
wake
you,
right
honey.
up. Yeah. There we go. So Zeke tells us he doesn't dream. And I am, like I said, I'm like Zeke too. I don't remember dreams normally. So.
I do in detail, page after page after page after page.
Yeah,
of course.
Dave tells us this is like the first night he got any sleep, so he's happy. And Michelle tells us that she wasn't sleeping, and she's worried about being the minority in the Millennials and the need to slow cook the beans.
Why don't I like her?
I don't know. We weren't.
I don't feel any warm fuzzies or.
There doesn't seem to be anything nurturing about her. Maybe that's part of what it is that you're picking up on.
I know, and she hasn't done anything. I don't dislike her or any of that. She's very smart in the game. I respect her gameplay.
Yep.
But I just don't.
Not drawn to her at all.
Not at all.
Me neither. Yeah,
That's odd because I'm drawn to most people.
Yeah.
It's just me, but I don't know. That's strange. I keep going, but why not?
She's definitely better than I initially estimated in the Jabik, but yeah, I'm not a fan.
Way better, yeah.
She's not kooky dragon girl that she sounded like in some of her interviews and what she was sharing.
Yeah, and we find out that Chris is one of Zeke's heroes. Woo-hoo.
Childhood hero, yeah. He was told that was a great connection.
Well, and Chris seemed to genuinely feel it too, just because they were, Okies.
Yep.
So, cool.
Sooner fans are, yeah.
Yay, Zeke.
Yeah, and Chris tells him, hey, don't think you're out. I want to work with you. And Zeke's over the moon. Hey, my childhood hero from the team that I loved.
That's right.
Yeah, I got a potential buddy here. So
yeah, and they want to work together.
So the fortunes of Zeke and Adam have both appeared to changed for the better with this swap.
I agree. Okay, over to Ikabula.
Good job. Still day 14.
They wake up, or was it Jay? I woke up and there's no fire yet?
Yep.
Well, who usually makes the fire for you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
a good question.
Okay, why didn't you make fire before you went to bed? Somebody keep it up going. Anyway.
We'll recall that this is our guy who was talking about how he wasn't just a dreamer. He was focused.
Well, he couldn't make fire that day.
And he gave up. I guess he put some effort into it. But
Bret couldn't do it. Jay couldn't do it. They just
wasn't working.
Didn't have the touch. And Machaela got over there and just manhandled it.
So there's not like a... Is anyone like a villain? I mean, we were just talking about Michelle. She's not really a villain, right? There are not any villains coming forth this season.
No. Mari talked about, didn't she, wanting to be a villain?
She wanted to, yeah. But
that didn't work.
Yeah, no.
She wasn't there long
about
enough
Mari
to
worked. So, yeah. So there's not like a villain, but I think we got a hero, Machaela.
Oh, she's mine, yes.
Yeah.
I'm every week more and more impressed with her.
Yeah. Yep.
You go, girl.
And she tells us about how she's learned through hard work, because she's not a dreamer. She does work hard. That sometimes she just has to push a little further, especially when she feels like she's at the end.
She wanted to give up, but she did.
Right. Is a great contrast to Jay, talking about what he was in contrast to the other generation.
And Machaela doing it.
Yes. And it overwhelms her. And
that was the surprise.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised she hung in there and made the fire, but it did surprise me that she reacted so emotionally. I understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did a good job of explaining it, and making fire like that is emotional. It is a primal feeling that can overwhelm you for sure.
And in part doing that for, her current family.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like she's had a hard time of it for sure, but it's great seeing her thrive out here the way Zeke is too.
And Hannah showed up to give Machaela a hug.
Yep.
And I was thinking,
did she say something then?
No.
She definitely...
Not that we heard. They didn't.
Hug,
I'm sure she probably did, but they haven't chose to show us anything.
Definitely seemed invisible
Or
this
Will
episode
either,
other than the hug there.
It's like, oh yeah, Will and Hannah are in this tribe too.
Okay, day 15, time for the community challenge.
That was a pretty good challenge. I enjoyed it.
Well, let's not overlook the awesome toss that Zeke had there to get that immunity idol back to Propes. At which point Propes informs us, hey, now he's got a little buddy. There's what did you say? A mini-me.
Yeah, mini-me.
A mini-me idol. And at this point, with 3 tribes, it's not about...
The idol has a mini-me.
It's not about winning immunity so much as it is don't be the one to lose it.
True.
Because there are 2 winners. Okay, so what do you think about this challenge? Setting?
I just said loved it.
Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
That area.
The shallow water.
Yeah.
Right out in the middle of all that deeper water.
Yeah, that's just gorgeous.
How did they do that? That was awesome.
They took advantage of that natural feature.
It makes me want to go there.
Mm-hmm. All righty. So they got to dive down and retrieve buoys, and then they have an option. They can either pull the basket, and I did think of you, Drew, when he said buoy, and I am saying buoy now.
What else would you say?
Well, Drew had an issue with the word, don't you remember? Although I think he came back and said, okay, this pronunciation's fine. But Bowie, I believe, was his preferred pronunciation.
Oh, well, it's Bowie for me, so whatever.
In any case, so yeah, it's shooting baskets, but you got to dive down, get them, you got to swim it over, which I wasn't thinking much of in terms of the effort required until we got to see some of the castaways in action there.
Okay, why was Will the one to sit out? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, why not Hannah?
Yeah, or Sunday.
Don't know.
Sunday didn't do well. So why didn't Will do it instead of Sunday?
Yeah, don't know. It seemed an odd choice.
I thought so, even at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday did poorly right off the bat.
I like that there's the option, too, for them to get that hook. I didn't know what that was at first when I saw the basket, but they got the option to fling the ball out there, a small, like, tennis ball or a monkey fist knot, and then pull the basket. It's just kind of a round knot that helps you throw a rope.
It's okay. You don't have to explain.
Okay.
I'm sure it's in your knot book.
All right, so yep, Will sits out, and first up for Takali, who was it? Oh, it was Adam. He had a little bit of trouble, but he got through it okay. Cece, I was surprised. She dove down.
Can't swim.
And got it, but it turns out the dog paddling takes a while.
Yeah, it does.
And that was
As Jeff
rough.
said, it took forever.
Yes.
Jeff is always so kind to point that out.
Yeah. And Sunday, she at least bailed, but I think Cece wanted the buoy so that she could hold on to it to help her stay afloat.
Oh, I'm getting that.
Sunday at least got out of the way, but that means that somebody's going to have to...
Got to go back.
Yeah, do that.
I still think it would have been
quick.
Faster.
Jay was so quick that he got his done before Cece even got there. I think maybe even Machaela had got hers done before Cece got there.
Well, and then did the smart thing, throw that ball ahead so you could swim.
Yeah, Jay had it. He was optimizing it.
And Ken observed that and did the same thing. So that was good.
Wow, what a comedy of errors between Cece and David.
David.
What a mess.
David.
I was surprised. That was awful. I was about to go on to Michelle, but I want to go back to David for a second.
I felt bad for David. I was like, oh, no. That's got to be so embarrassing.
Did you hear what Zeke said when that was happening?
No.
Are they trying to throw it?
Oh, I don't think David was trying to throw it.
No, he's seriously that bad at that. To not be able to, I don't know what to think about people who go out there and can't swim.
He is not a fish in water.
They're definitely seasons where they've had basically no water challenges or super limited water challenges. But
it's Fiji.
What kind of courage must Cece have to do that? Even I think Jessica, we saw in that extra video, had said that she took swimming lessons before going out there because she wasn't comfortable in the water. To face that kind of uncertainty, I mean, you got safety people there, but it's still scary when you get in trouble in the water. It's terrifying.
The ocean is scary, period. Yeah. Not to mention salt
Could be a
water.
monster down below you that's just going to gobble you up.
Well,
if that fear kicks in, it's just...
I couldn't even handle that thought.
Yeah. Were you surprised at Michelle? She couldn't get a buoy to come loose? That was a big...
Yes, I was very...
Meaning Chris was going to have to take an extra
She doesn't seem to swim
run.
well either.
Yep, not so good.
What challenges has she been good at other than puzzles?
I guess she did.
She hadn't done many of those.
She did okay on the obstacle course, I think. The last one.
I'm really surprised she's not better at challenges than she is. I at least expected that.
Yep, but fortunately for Vanua, they got Chris, and he can double up, and Ikabula's got Jay, and it's no problem for him to double up, so they get it done. And then it's time for the hero again. Even though Ken had a huge head start on Takali, and
Machaela, bam,
got the basket in. Yeah, Machaela just starts sinking them.
She must have played some basketball, too.
Maybe. She really had that down, and ends up winning first. So they catch up and pass Takali.
She got 5, but Ken had only gotten 1, and the other tribe got none.
In desperation, Chris went for the long shot. That wasn't working, so he had them come back in, and then they used the rope to hook the basket and pull it closer. But I don't think they got one in.
Didn't help either.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough time after Cece and David had wasted all that time. So we got to ask her, just in case, if they were throwing it, if there was some plan to throw it. That, of course, that might make her angry. I don't know.
No, I can't believe that.
But her and David were just so awful in that challenge.
I'll have to think on that question.
Okay.
I'm not sure, because I don't believe for a second they threw it.
It kind of looked like David was praying at the end. He had his hands clasped together in front of him, and I thought, is he doing that for Michelle? Because I don't remember seeing him pray before. So what's going on there? Maybe he was just cold, because he appeared cold in several
I thought he was cold.
Scenes. Yeah, perhaps that's
even
what it was.
when they walked back to camp, came into camp, you could tell the way he was holding his body and his hands together. He was cold.
Zeke tells us after the challenge, Cece and David are atrocious, and he's hoping that Chris is a man of his word and that he's willing to go against Gen X there. Okay, back at the tribe, what'd you think about that snake in the basket there?
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah, you didn't see it at first, huh?
No, well, I was making a note, and so I ran it back, and it was like, ha! Oh. The thought of I'd be all freaked out there. That would just, even if it was a harmless snake, it doesn't matter to me whether could be a green garden snake. I flip out. I completely go nuts, and I can't help myself.
Okay.
So
how about let's talk about the castaways after the challenge.
You shouldn't have brought it up. You know this. Giving me the.
Chris is telling them he blew it shooting the baskets there, and everybody kind of owns their part of it. Cece tells us it's just the same nightmare she's living, where she goes back to tribal over and over and over. But at least this time,
gee, I wonder why.
She's not on the bottom.
Or so she thinks.
What did you think about David's question? Do we tell them we're voting for Michelle? That's an easy answer, David. You're supposed to know the game. No, you don't tell them that. You don't go tell someone, and you leave that uncertainty in their mind. You give them hope that, hey, maybe it's not them. You never tell the person that you're voting out. one, it seems arrogant, and you don't want to be arrogant in the game. That doesn't work well for folks in general, and plus it's just rude, right?
Well, yeah, and Chris is worrying about trusting a guy who's already burned him twice.
Yep. Hey, you spotted, it looked like David's got like an infection on his cheek there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
mentioned that, huh?
Yeah,
You said
that
it looked
doesn't
pretty
look good.
bad, huh?
Yeah, it does to me.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like ingrown hair that got infected
That hurts too.
in his beard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it looks painful. So good luck, David.
Yeah. What did you think when Chris told him he was going to choke him? Or I thought he said he was going to chunk him in the fire if he betrayed him again.
Well, maybe that's why he didn't go through with his plans. He was afraid Chris might hurt him. And he probably would never have gotten Chris's to go along with anything ever again. So
Well, certainly not a jury vote. Yeah.
okay, so Michelle does not trust they're telling the truth, even though they were at that
Good for
time.
her.
Yeah,
Yep.
good
She
for
is
her.
sharp.
And she goes and tries to work Cece, and
She's not going to
comes
leave
up.
it just to someone else to decide.
I like that very much, and but Cece's not going to talk strategy with her.
Which is what we've heard before.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere. You can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
If they just won't do it, there's nothing you can do. You can't make them.
Yeah, she definitely shared a fair bit in that gamble, talking about, focusing on calling out David, saying that he was weak and clumsy.
Yeah, but aren't you impressed with David working through all of that and going, wow, at least thinking it all the way through to the end and going, hey, if we get rid of Cece, I'm the next weakest person.
I thought that was one of the more insightful things to learn in the episode about how he was using her incompetence as a shield. And I guess I hadn't really thought about it that way, that she was useful to him in that sense. Although I think they're equally awful in the game. So I'm not hey, good on him. And maybe she was thinking the same thing about him, right? While David's around, at least there's someone to go before me.
I really wanted him to play the idol again and vote Michelle out.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to see that big move happen.
Yeah.
But, oh well, I was like, yes, do it. I don't know if it's the smartest play for you, but it would be exciting for me to watch.
So let's go to Tribal Council. There's some really different music. I don't remember that music and that chanting. That kind of ominous
that was
voodoo
bizarre.
chanting that
was bizarre.
going in.
You know, I liked how David had compared what he's doing with playing chess and really looking, not just one step ahead, but
what did you like
several
about it?
steps ahead.
Anybody
Just
who's
the
going to make a
comparison.
chess analogy is going to say something about trying to look moves ahead.
Well, yeah, but not many people make the chess analogy.
Yeah, we hear it. We always hear people talk about
we hear
moving.
it. We always hear it.
Thinking
Okay.
moves ahead. The strategists try to do that.
Not.
So if you're a strategist, if you're a fan of the strategist players, then you've certainly heard that before.
Well, we do, but the players don't usually say it. Anyway.
I was with you. I thought, yeah, okay. I understand this one much more than the Jessica one. If you're getting rid of Michelle's a serious threat, then I get it.
She's a strategic threat. I don't think so much as far as challenges and that thing.
Sure.
She's not that beneficial either so far.
So Probst goes right to the weak spot right out of the gate, goes to Zeke and says, hey, the stakes are pretty high at that challenge. What are you thinking? Where's your mind at? And, of course, he says, yeah, Michelle and I are on the bottom. And David says, yeah, we got a strong Gen X tribe. They got reason to worry. And Zeke says, but I am a connection to the majority. There are more millennials in the game than there are Gen Xers. And so you need to be thinking about that.
And he said he'd move with the Gen Xers.
And Chris basically agrees with him, echoing that, saying, yep, Gen X is down. We need numbers. And I did talk a lot
to
with
move
Zeke.
forward, because they've had 2 more people voted off. Well,
CC,
3 now.
Yeah.
3 more people voted off.
Cece says that she's concerned that Chris might save Zeke. Yeah. Good
Yep.
for you, Cece. You had something there for a
And
second.
yet you didn't go with Michelle or
Yeah.
try to pull in Dave. I just wonder if she did question it at all, like with David. We keep thinking she and David were together, but I don't know if they were.
Yeah, I don't think so necessarily either.
Yeah, I
'cause
got the
she was
feeling they
left-
weren't.
She was often left with previous or older information, right?
Yeah,
So,
but because they both voted for Lucy, I thought they talked about it. They did that together, but there was not a lot of mention of that.
Yeah.
So
Definitely have to ask her. Chris tells us this is all about rebuilding trust, and David echoes that and says trust is paramount, and I'm going to prove my loyalty tonight. I thought, wow, he's really selling it. It's going to hurt even more when he plays that idol. Yeah.
I was starting to think when he said that oh, shoot, he's going to choose to go and prove his loyalty with Chris instead of make the big move.
Michelle says, why would you trust the double blindsider? Take out David.
He's betrayed you twice. Why would you trust him?
David says, Gen X is united and there's nothing to worry about. Mm-hmm. So David definitely did his part well.
He did.
Yeah.
He is playing better than we thought. He's just so bad in challenges and out in the environment.
Like I said at the beginning, I'm still convinced he wasted that idol. And I was surprised when he didn't play the one this time. And I thought maybe this would have been a good place to
It's because you can't get in David's head.
Well, I don't want to be in David's head. I mean, go write entertaining comedy episodes, but I'm just fine not being in his head.
All right. Well, it was only one vote for Michelle, and that was Cece's, and everybody else.
We got another blindside.
What's that?
Yeah, Cece's gone. Probe says you can trust each other unless you can't.
And she thinks they made a dumb mistake. They betrayed her, and that Chris and Dave's going to lose because of it.
Yeah, I don't weigh Cece's opinion very highly at this point in the game. She didn't ever impress me.
She played as hard as she could, and she did her best.
A participation award is in order for Cece.
There you go.
Right?
Award, Cece.
Yes, good job doing your best.
All right, next on Survivor,
Figgy lets her guard down. Yeah, that lasted a long time.
She and Jay starts with the kissy.
Jessica says, yeah, like nobody knew or noticed.
Yeah, and Ken's like, that's so obvious.
And it looks like we're due for the blindfold calling challenge. So they blindfold them, and then one person's up above and calling it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if that's the best choice. I wonder if her voice would carry. I mean, you would hear Chris.
Oh, I think she would have a loud voice.
We'll see.
But anyway.
You'd certainly hear Chris.
She probably didn't want to get all banged up if she's watched the show and knows that these people can get hurt out there.
And we hear Probes give a somewhat half-hearted call for medical.
Yeah.
Hey, medical.
Medical.
At which point, Hannah says, you're not going to let me die, right?
Yeah.
And Bret was sitting there with an umbrella over her.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they show a picture of Bret in a confessional, and he's like cracking up.
I thought she maybe scraped her knee or something. I was like, she looks okay.
Yeah.
So I don't, the way they're portraying it anyway, it doesn't seem to be much of anything.
Certainly we hope not. Yeah, I don't want to make little of that.
She's my USB 24.
Yeah, for now. I don't think you're going to stick with her.
You don't know that.
I don't think you're going to stick with her.
We don't know that. You going to stick with Figgy?
Definitely not. Figgy was a mistake. I still haven't seen anything, right? I thought for just momentarily tonight with her, hey, let's calm this thing down with Taylor and all that. No.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
No, I'm still not convinced there's anything there with Figgy. I don't even know that Figgy's going to do okay without Michelle covering her.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised, because that's why I thought if they, wherever she landed, that's why I chose her to go. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I already explained that. So, JSFL, Carolyn in Missouri is in first place.
By herself?
Yes.
Good job, Carolyn.
And there were 8 people who lost their USB 24. Right. 86 people, congratulations, gained a vote-off point.
Good job. I get that. I just didn't want to get burned by Cece not going again.
So you got burned anyway.
Yeah, I got burned the other way. She got me one more time.
57 people lost a save point.
Okay.
The challengers, Aaron is in the lead with 22. Cold Mike with 21.
Okay.
With 20, we have Brandon, Hubaloo, Iron Dave, James and Shannon, Jeremiah, Jonathan, Noom, and Tyler. In the bottom with 19 is Carolyn, Kitty Cat, and Stacy.
All right. I played a little too bold.
You're dragging the rear.
Yeah, I'll have to make up for it next week. Mm-hmm. This week was all about luck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, who are you going to pick? Looks like you had a hard time.
Did you have
up with anyone.
You didn't put CC safe, did you?
I don't believe so. I did get safe points off of her early on, though. But no, I didn't have her. I don't believe I had her safe tonight.
Okay. That would have really...
that would have been bold.
That would have been bold. See, you weren't bold.
I wasn't that bold, no.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to get safe points and spread them around a little for people I didn't pick that I think are going to go soon.
Well, I didn't need to. I just saw, I haven't used this one, or to get a safe point here.
I'm still enjoying this season a lot. I enjoyed this episode. I'm admittedly confused with David's logic. I'm not sure he's seeing moves ahead or not. But I definitely enjoyed this one, too.
I am still...
And the three-tribe twist was quite surprising.
By David, even though, the performance at the challenge was cringeworthy, but...
Definitely cringeworthy.
So...
It was horrible.
But there were several people that were, even Zeke, the way he landed in the water.
Oh, he slipped.
I think they said he slipped,
Yeah, you could tell he slipped.
Well, still, he tends to do more of a belly flop than...
Yeah.
Normally, but that was even worse.
All right, well, we're done with the recap. We'll have an interview with Cece tomorrow. Maybe we'll gain some new insights there. We'll work on some questions as soon as we get this recap posted and out there for you. And then we'll be looking forward to getting your feedback, your thoughts, and predictions about what went down in episode 5, what we can look forward to with 3 tribes now as we head into episode 6 after another blindside. Who you most impressed with? Is everybody going to jump on the Machaela bandwagon and go for her as their USB? I could totally understand that. I think I'm on Team Machaela right now, too.
You know what I really appreciated tonight?
What's that?
CBS not allowing the debate to interfere with Survivor.
That's true. At least in our time zone. It did interfere. It was an hour later.
It was an hour later, but
at least they didn't run over, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Because I taped everything behind just in case.
Just in case it slipped, yeah. Good deal. So like I said, we're interested in hearing what you thought about 5, your predictions for 6 going forward with these 3 tribes. The voicemail line, 206-350-1547. There's also a toll-free version if you need that, 844-643-8737. The email, joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. Feedback is due noon Pacific time. And if you're not clear on when that is, you can just jump right into Google's homepage and type time, PST, and it'll tell you. Or time, California, and it'll jump right out for you.
You talking to Aaron now?
A little bit. He got his feedback in, 7 hours?
We enjoyed it.
Late? Yes, we did. We listened when we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
Thank
7
you for
hours
that.
after the day. Wrong direction for figuring time. That isn't easy always to do.
As someone who's experienced that multiple times when I was traveling and got turned around, I got as far as a day off in the Philippines, but I was taking that malaria medicine and it was kind of goofy. But I totally get that. But at least it's easy to figure it out now.
Is that what was wrong with you when you were in the Philippines?
Part of it, I'm sure, yeah. Plus it was my first time out of the United States.
Really? That was the first time?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Quite the education. It's something that stayed with me ever since. Yeah. So it helped make me thankful and have a thankful mindset every day because that was tough where we were. I saw a whole bunch of things that were hard to see that I was naive and my eyes had never seen before. So it was
quite the experience.
Quite an overload in culture and experience and bouncing around in jeepneys and almost getting in wrecks every day and getting lost every time we got in a taxi. That had never happened before, but it happened every time we got a taxi when we were there in Manila. The taxi driver got lost and sometimes we'd have to pick people up off the road and get directions to find out places.
Yeah, that kind of happened for me when I went to Rome and I thought it was really bad there until we went to Beijing.
Yeah,
it was like, oh my goodness!
I didn't know it was possible to have that many people in one place.
I was scared to death of all the 500 bicycles coming at me.
Yeah.
I'm not only going to get hit by the cars, but by the bicycles.
Run over by the bikes.
Yep.
Okay, so we're looking for. Let's come back around.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Who else was really surprised that they went to 3 teams?
3 tribes. Sure.
3 tribes. Yeah.
Sure.
Because I really was.
Okay.
Did not expect that.
I think we all believe you. Yes, we're looking forward to hearing your thoughts. And again, keep it in the 3-minute range. Get it in noon Pacific, and then we'll get that out for everyone as we get ready for episode 6. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.